Hello, and welcome to today's broadcast of Center Radio, our webcast. This is April 5th, 2020, with our COVID-19 edition. This is number 5. I am your host for today, Dr. Sybil Moore. This cannot be with us, unfortunately, today, so I have a special co-host today, Dr. Brandon Vick. Usually he's behind all the tech, and he's here to join us today to do an interview with one of our special guests today. We're going to start off just with some understanding about what is going on now with the COVID-19, everyone understanding about the disease, the fact that we are in lockdown, and Friday we got orders for today. We're starting on Friday, that we're supposed to start wearing masks when we leave on our way to go wherever it is that we have to go to. There are cloth masks that we're supposed to have, so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. The new order, it was brought from the CDC, and then our governor here has asked us to follow that order whenever we're out and about. So I'm going to talk about that today. We have a guest, Judy Holliday. She will be talking a little bit about what she's doing about preventing some of this COVID-19 with those masks. We have special guests today, Ellen Bowman from the Haven in Case Cottage. Also, she is the chair of PCAVV. She will talk to us a little bit today about what her organization that she represents, what they do, and what is she seeing right now within her field. Also, Dr. David Loomis is here. He's an investigative reporter with the Hawkeye to talk to us a little bit about what he's hearing. Center Radio is the mission of the Center for Community Growth is to lead individuals and organizations in and around Indiana County, advancing social, racial, gender, LGBTQIA, economic, and environmental justice. COVID-19 Indiana County is a new regular broadcast designed to keep you informed in the coming weeks about the COVID-19 pandemic. We hope this remotely produced broadcast will help you understand how this pandemic is impacting you and the Indiana community. We'll be coming to you Sundays at 2 and Tuesdays and Thursdays. Each episode will be available for replay. We're going to start right now with our first interview with Judy Holliday. Judy, are you there?
I am here. Thanks, Sybil.
Hi, Judy. How are you today?
I'm just lovely. Thank you.
Good. For those of us who do not know you or not familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about your background, your business, and your history in the Indiana area?
Absolutely. My name is Judy Holliday. I have had Holliday Alterations and Custom Sewing in Indiana since 1998, although I've been sewing for the community since 1987. I do a lot of prom and weddings, and of course a lot of those things, the proms are all called off at this point for all the schools, but weddings, a lot of them have been either postponed or delayed or canceled. So until we know what the heck is going on, not only in our community, but around, everywhere. I have, been living in the community since 1978 when I went to IUP, met my husband, and here I am.
Wonderful.
I guess to stay. Guess we're all here to stay. Yeah.
We have you here today to talk a little bit about a special project that you have been you've been working on here in the local area. Can you tell us about that project and what you've been doing?
I can. I got my very first phone call from a lovely woman on the other side of town from me, requesting a face mask or several face masks, as she's an elderly woman who takes care of her 6-year-old granddaughter. And that was on March the 14th, 15th, that weekend. And I thought, okay, well, that's pretty smart. I was actually in the middle of, I had one on at that moment, not a cloth one, but I was doing some stuff at my daughter's house. And I took her information and I said I would, figure out which kind of design to do and I would get back to her and get them over to her. Within within the day or so, I got several different styles over, and I said, you try them out and tell me what you think. Tell me what works best for you, and we'll go from there. The next day, one of my clients who I did her wedding a few years back and who is a nurse at IRMC contacted me early in the morning and said, could you please make us up face masks for the hospital? We're really worried that we're not going to be able to get our supplies, and can you make some for us? At that point, I said, how many? How do you want me to do them? She's like, come up with however you want to. That's fine with us. So I started out with doing the face mask, and here's one that looks like it is it's fabric. I use 100% cotton because I've worked with fabric for a long time. People have asked me why I decided to do it that way, and I'm like, well, I know it may sound crazy, but it's a breathable fabric where you don't have to worry about allergens and things as long as it's been cleaned properly. So the first 20 that I did had the elastic for the ears, and they worked fine. Some people, everybody has a different size head. So they worked good for some, but didn't work good for the others. So then the next thing I did was I made them with the ribbon ties that I then melt at the bottom so that at the end of the thing, so it doesn't fray when you wash them. But what I decided to do was I took all my cotton fabrics that I had. I washed everything in clean detergent. I used a detergent from the Grove Collaborative because I have sensitive skin and it's the only thing that doesn't bother me. It's perfume free, it's hypoallergenic. So I washed everything in hot water before I even cut anything. Cut it, came up with a design idea. I also did try, and I do this for little kids, especially kids under like 7 years old, and it's called a clamshell design. You can see it looks like a half of the mask, but it gives a little bit deeper pocket so that, and then I'll put on, usually I put on a ribbon here too, a longer length for them. I was testing something out for somebody who just had a baby yesterday, so I have things going out to them because they need to bring the baby home tomorrow. So so I have 3 different styles that I do, but anyway, I wash everything first, press it out, make sure that I try different size cuts, and then I just started producing. And within the first week, I had several hundred requests. Within the first 2 weeks, and in the first 15 days, we had done, because other people then, thank goodness, in the community said, hey, how can we help? And they stepped up to the plate to help me. And in the first 15 days, we did 1,046 masks that went out to all over the place. And now that we have just finished the 3rd week, and I thought, well, maybe we'll get, and that was by this past Tuesday. So April 1st, basically, started the new set. And I thought, well, maybe we'll get to 1,500 by this weekend. Well, because of the stay-at-home order, that has already bounced up to beyond 2,000. I took orders for 628 on Friday. So I'm trying to keep, and I'm keeping a log of everybody's name, address, phone number, the number that they want. Some are getting a little gender specific now, and that takes a different direction because it was just fabrics that I had, because as a seamstress, we all have our own things that we hoard. Like Dave, you probably have 10 million guitars or something like that, at least a dozen of them. And each of us has our own thing. So aside from our guitars, I have fabric. And so that's what I started out with. And it has, the numbers are coming in, the orders are coming in day and night. And
what's happened since the order went on Friday? Because I know you said it exploded. What do your numbers look like now since Friday? Since the governor
Friday, I haven't gone through my book as far, I've written everything down. I'm still taking orders. Like I still didn't catch everybody from yesterday and today that have sent me messages in different ways. But I have pages of it. So I'm going to assume, and the reason I'm assuming this is because some people haven't figured out exactly how many they want yet. And that is, I'm putting the healthcare people first, but I also have orders from, like, out of that first 1,000, we had an order for 300 for St. Andrew's Village.
Can you tell us, okay, so St. Andrew's Village is one of them. Can you tell us some other
Right.
places that you've been getting orders in from?
St. Margaret's in UPMC, St. Margaret's in Pittsburgh. We just got an order from IUP AFSCME for their hospitality, their maintenance people, because what's going to happen is, as I had been told actually within the first week, was that that as the epidemic continues and the pandemic continues to spread in our area, the healthcare people will be bussed back and forth to the IUP dormitories. They have to maintain, to be cleaned, everything has to still be maintained. So on Friday, one of those, out of the 600 plus orders that came in, 300 were from IUP directly.
Can you tell us how in the world are you going to be able to get 600 out? Do you have help? Do you have friends that are helping you right now?
Thank heavens. Yes. There are a core group of people who have done a tremendous amount of work. I have some people that are gracious enough to do, after I wash everything and fold it and press it out, then I have several people who take it and cut it for me, cut the material into the sizes that I need. Now I'm doing all the clamshell ones myself because it just makes it easier. I don't have that many requests for little ones yet. But we're doing what's called a surgical style, which is what the request was from the nurses initially. That's why I decided to do it that way. I'm just taking the information that they said would be better for them. And if someone else says, well, it's not as comfortable for me, could you do this other style? That's how I'm doing it. But how am I going to do it? I have one specific lady, thank goodness for Beth Brandhoover, she's in Blacklick, who is only handling that one large order from St. Andrews. When that completes, and while I'm waiting for the specified fabric that was asked for and that I ordered for AFSCME, by the time that comes in, she'll be done with that order and I'll be able to hand her over the next order of 300. Now, it's going to take a good week to week and a half to 2 weeks to get the full order. That's not taking into the time of the shipping to me and all the prep work that's on the one end before you can get it out the door. So then I have a multitude of other ladies that have come to the rescue, literally, who have, to name everybody right offhand, it would be an injustice because I'd probably miss somebody and I don't want to miss anybody. There's been a core group of 6 people that have just stepped up their game. I luckily have industrial sewing machine, so if they can't put the pleats into it, I ask them to please sew it, bring it back to me, ready to be pleated. And so they've been able to really knock out a lot, even if it's 20 and 30 a day, more that I have to sew from the beginning to end, it just helps to be able to keep filling the orders. So
can you
go ahead.
tell us, like, why do you feel this is so important, the work that you're doing? I know we've heard some things about the N95 mask, and
Right.
And versus the cloth mask, which one's better for you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, these are not N95 masks. You can put a pocket in them where you can put a HEPA filter in, which would be more protection as well. But at this point, and now as things they've learned a little bit more, and day by day, they're learning something else. So the reason the masks work, whether it's the cotton mask or a bandana or anything at this point, put something to cover your face going out. If you're in your car, you should be fine because you're leaving from your own property. But should you get out of your car and not put a mask on at this point, because we don't know exactly how it's being spread, whether it is, you know, if you are carrying it, the droplets or the airborne or whatever, at least has a protection like a filter, like any kind of filter does, so that you're not emitting any of your own, you know, bodily fluids. And if someone out there on the other side of you and in the public may have it and they don't know it yet, maybe they're a carrier, and that's why this is so scary, is we don't know exactly how. We're still learning it. So at least if you are protected, if someone else comes past you, you don't know if they walked past you 5 minutes ago and sneezed and have particles still in the air. That will help protect at least your face and your nose, and so from possibly you getting it. It's just a matter of, I mean, these are not N95 masks, but I do know from what the nurses and doctors have told me that have contacted me, that since they have to use their N95 masks for like a week at a time, these cloth masks can help to be an additional barrier, and they're all washable. You can toss these in hot water and they'll be ready to wash again. So it's not like you have to, like, you know, you could, if you have two, one can be washed while you're wearing one, and they can interchange that daily so that they have that line of defense and that protection. So, I mean, I'm just using the information and knowledge of fabric and stuff that I've developed over the years of, you know, sewing for people. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Can you tell us if someone wants to help you out, but maybe by a donation or fabric, whatever it is there some way we can get in touch with you, or they can get in touch with you to help you in whatever way that you need it?
Well, it does appear that my name and number and email and Facebook page have gotten out to quite a few people, which is good. Word of mouth is our best thing on a normal day. I can't say that there haven't been days over these last few weeks that I haven't been a little overwhelmed. And every morning after I take care of the animals and make a pot of coffee, I know that I'll be sewing and or doing whatever part of this for the next 14 hours daily. It has happened literally. That's how much I'm putting in, and I know that doesn't even stand a candle to what our healthcare people are doing. So trying to stay healthy and all that. But they can contact me through online at my email, either judy.holliday@gmail.com, which is judy.holliday@gmail.com. They can find me on and message me on Messenger. Things are, all kinds of things are popping up right now. So that are, I'm not sure exactly what's happening. So they can find me on Holliday Alterations. Yes, that's okay. I'm getting messages as we're talking anyway. So, and a lot of people are asking, are the masks aren't they already made? We're making them as fast as we possibly can. We are individuals. I am not a manufacturer, although I have manufacturing experience, but we're still all individuals doing a bang up job. And when I mentioned to the one friend, Cindy Rogers, the other day, that we've been at this for 15 days, those are my dear friends from California, from La Jolla. That's Marcello and Adelina. Anyway, when I told Cindy that we'd only been doing this for 15 days, she's like, those are our masks. And she's like, oh my gosh, 15 days. She says she felt like she'd been doing this forever. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what happens. But I mean, I'm just,
what if someone wants to donate financially?
Sure. If someone would like to donate, I do, for I think one more day, have a Facebook page donation for, you know, the masks, for face masks, that would be, I believe, on my page directly. So Judy Holliday. But I also have taken through PayPal at judy.holliday@gmail.com, or through Venmo and that is the @ Judy with a capital J dash Holliday with a capital H, and that's 2 L's in Holiday -3. And people have been very generous, and I cannot thank anybody enough and everybody enough for whatever parts. I'm doing what I can. I'm about now 4 days behind. So if I get a message to make masks and they're not coming in, 1 and 2 masks, they're usually going out a dozen or more at a time. So to make a dozen masks up, I put everything in a Ziploc bag and they get sealed. Then they get mailed out in a bubble wrap mailer so that they're protected a second way too. And I'm shipping like every other day. So I have one gentleman who had an online business, and he has an online business, and he comes and I'm like, I'm ready for another shipment to go out. So I'm doing a lot of cross-referencing to make sure I've met those needs. Now, if someone asks me for more to their original order, then things can get a little hectic, a little crazy, and I'm trying to meet all the needs. So right at this point, I'm just asking everyone to be patient. People that are calling me and contacting me since Friday, not including AFSCME, are still looking at a 4-day window before they get their masks. And I think that's pretty good considering, we've got help coming from everywhere, thank goodness.
Well, I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. Everything that's not just a 4-day wait. I think it's wonderful. Everything that you're doing right now. I know the community.
And just like for your daughter, Sybil, so if and you've come in and gotten parts that you need to make some up, and people who need them, they don't have to come back through me.
Okay.
Get them to the people who need them. So Amara, she's making more, your lovely daughter. And anybody, I have one woman who has nurse friends in a hospital in Los Angeles. And she's like, can I just send those directly out? I'm like, absolutely. If you have that information, it does not have to go through me. I'm not keeping track of how many pieces of material I've sent out. Everybody is doing their part, and I so greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, and thank you for doing your part. We appreciate it, and the community appreciates it. Take care.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it too. All of you.